Mountains today. Hi, I'm Marty Bash, and this is Will Broussard. He's an outreach coordinator with the Mount Washington Observatory. Good morning, Will.
Morning, Marty. Thanks for having me.
Pleasure to be here. Of course, people are familiar with the observatory, the Summit Weather Station. Of course, you guys were on Good Morning America recently. And now you're stepping up here to be on, outside TV. So thank you for fitting us into your schedule. So really, really cool. But it's vacation week, and you don't have to go to the summit to enjoy the observatory, because there's the Weather Discovery Center right here and in North Conway Village. And
exactly.
Families going in will find all sorts of hands-on things to do.
Yeah, everything about the observers up at the top is at the Weather Discovery Center. We have a giant air cannon over there for kids to enjoy. Also have a 10-minute movie about the White Mountains and wind and the history of the observatory. Lots to see. Big gift shop over there too. Lots of weather gadgets and things for the family. But yes, this is our air cannon.
The air cannon is really cool. You just kind of like boom, boom.
Yeah, and we use this to help demonstrate how wind is formed.
So basically, there's one wicked big cannon. No, and there you go. You just boom, boom, boom. Yeah, this is good. No, because actually, it's really much bigger at the Weather Discovery Center, and they also have sort of a big target. If
exactly,
you will.
This is basically half the size of a small child, and this takes up almost a whole wall, and so it's a lot of fun just kind of aiming it and trying to get the target right.
Absolutely.
But this is much smaller because I take this on my outreach trips. And so we also have a program at the WDC where I'll travel around to schools throughout New England.
Excellent.
And I will bring this with me to help demonstrate, again, how wind is formed, but it's also just really fun for the kids to play with.
And then you have the 3-cup anemometer?
Anemometer, yes. This is a 3-cup anemometer. And this is a classic kind of wind instrument. Measures the wind. You might see it on top of a building spinning around.
Sure.
And the faster it spins means the faster the wind is going. But at the summit of Mount Washington, as you might know, we don't use 3-cup anemometers because of something called rime ice or frozen fog, as you can see in our beautiful Mount Washington picture here. Lots of rime ice on top.
I've experienced but it's beautiful too. It's very, very feathery.
Yes,
and sort of grows in the direction of the wind or something.
Exactly. Yes, it grows in the direction of the wind.
I read that Windswept that you guys have, the magazine. You have got to join just to get Windswept. Trust me.
Yeah, I really love Windswept. I've been learning a lot from reading it. Cool. But of course, yes, we don't use the 3 cups at the summit because they gum up with rime ice and they break. Yeah. So we use a special pitot-tube static anemometer, which we're able to heat up.
Now we mentioned earlier that seriously, Good Morning America was up at the summit, and I recall seeing a photo in the local paper of a Sling psychrometer, Ginger Z, and Serena Brede were up there, and so this is again one of the tools that the observers use for their hourly observations, yeah?
Exactly, yeah. Ginger Z was getting a tutorial on how to use the proper use of a Sling psychrometer. Basically what it is, it's an instrument that measures relative humidity. And so there are 2 thermometers here, and one of them has a little sock on it. And so we dip the sock in distilled water, and we take it outside and we sling it around.
Cool.
So we sling it around, and then as the water on this little sock dries off, it kind of imparts a lower temperature to this thermometer, and then through some very fancy mathematical calculations, they can they can determine what the atmospheric humidity is. Very neat, and very old piece of technology. The observatory uses a lot of kind of older traditional technologies to study the weather because they're accurate.
But on the other hand, though, you also have sort of a distance learning, which is new technology that, in essence, it's my understanding that schools across the country, I guess, can interact with the observers on the summit. Is that what?
Yeah, exactly. So I'm in charge of the distance learning program at the WDC, and what we do is we connect with school groups throughout the country, and in the last few months we've actually connected with Alberta, Canada, and Mexico City, Mexico.
Nice.
And so these programs through video conferencing allow students and teachers to learn about this observatory remotely. They can be, you know, theoretically on the moon if we had the technology up there. And it's great because there's direct interaction, you know, and of course I talk to them for a while, and then I beam the image up to the summit so that our observers have a good amount of time with the school groups talking to them about the anemometers, the Sling psychrometers, all the different instruments that we use to measure the weather. And they talk about their life. They talk about their kind of unique lifestyle at the summit of Mount Washington.
And people can go up. You have these day trips, and I think you call them edu trips as well, where there's sort of a theme to a summit workshop that people can, they're in they get the snowcat up. And,
exactly.
And
yep, so on Mondays.
I've done that, it's really cool.
It's a lot of fun. On Mondays we have our day trips, and those go up for most of the day, and you drive up in the snowcat, you stop, you take a lot of pictures, you look around, you get to the summit, you have an orientation, you have lunch, you have a tour of the weather observatory, which is always fun. You get to go to the top to its parapet where our wind instruments are. You get a grand tour, and then you kind of walk around the summit a little bit, and then by that time it's time to go. So that's the day trip schedule. And then our edu-trip schedules are either Saturday, Sunday, or Friday, Saturday, and they're overnight themed educational trips. And
everything is at the Mount Washington Observatory website, of course.
Exactly.
And just to wrap things up, I'm hearing something about a geological conference or something coming up.
Yes, there's lots of things going on.
Actually, I didn't hear about it. I saw the notes.
Bretton Woods is hosting the Geological Society of America's Northeastern section on March 16th to 20th. We are a sponsor of this event, and later on, of course, we have other things going on. We have our Blue Hill edu-trips. So Blue Hill is another observatory in Massachusetts, another old observatory, weather observatory. That edu-trip is running from May 4th to the 5th. So people can also check out the rest of our schedule online, mountwashington.org.
Excellent. Well, we'll have to wrap things up. Thanks for stopping by.
Of course.
Don't forget Mount Washington Observatory. Go to the Weather Discovery Center right here in North Conway Village, because it's a hit. We'll be back. Hey, come on. Had to do it.